Any grand jury indictments in the case, according to the Atlanta prosecutor looking into whether former President Donald Trump and others broke the law while attempting to avenge their Georgia 2020 election loss, are probably going to happen in August. Fani Willis, the district attorney for Fulton County, wrote to County Superior Court Chief Judge Ural Glanville on Thursday to let him know that she intends to have the majority of her staff work remotely for most of the first 3 weeks of August, and to request that judges avoid scheduling trials and in-person hearings for a portion of that time. 20 additional county officials, including the sheriff, the court clerk, and top leaders, are copied on the letter. Willis wrote in the letter, which was first reported by the New York Times, "Thank you for your consideration and assistance in keeping the Fulton County Judicial Complex safe during this time." Willis informed local law enforcement officials in a letter last month that she planned to announce her decision on whether to press charges between July 11 and September 1. The letter from Thursday appears to shorten that window. She warned law enforcement in the earlier letters to be ready for heightened security, noting that the announcement of the charges may provoke a significant public reaction. Willis and her team have been closely examining the actions Trump and others took as they attempted to reverse his narrow loss to Democrat Joe Biden in Georgia for more than 2 years. In the letter to Glanville, she stated her intention to reduce staffing in her office by roughly 70% on the majority of Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, the days Fulton County grand juries convene, between July 31 and August 18. But she added that some of the other staff members in her leadership team, all armed investigators, would stay on the scene throughout the remote work days. Willis requested the trials and in-person hearings be postponed between the weeks of August 7 and August 14 because the majority of judges will be attending a state judicial conference from July 31 to August 4. However, she affirmed that her office would be accessible and prepared for any in-person proceedings taking place at that time. She wrote that senior leadership would handle in-person hearings if they were scheduled during a time when the majority of her staff was working from home. The former president faces a number of threats as he runs for the presidency again in 2024, including the Georgia investigation. He was charged with 34 counts of fabricating business records to hide payments of hush money to a porn actor during the 2016 presidential election by a Manhattan grand jury in March. Federal grand juries in Washington are looking into possible classified document handling violations at Trump's Florida estate, as well as efforts by Trump and his allies to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. Trump was recently found responsible by a federal jury in New York for sexually abusing advice columnist E. Jean Carroll in 1996, and she was given $5 million as compensation.